In my last video, I talked about the art of the tank role and how Deadlock is revolutionizing it with its obscure and very unique way of approaching it, such as the characters you play and how they all feel different. And I wanted to talk about the most common and arguably the most popular role in any games like this, the DPS role. Now, the DPS role is, to be honest, not much to change. You can't really revolutionize the DPS role, and you can't really change much of it. It's simple. You go do damage, you kill, and you win the game. Pretty straightforward if you ask me. But what I've noticed and have been playing the game for a while, at least 200 hours in, is that the game is very diverse in the DPS role. So what I mean by that is the characters that are presented as DPS characters, and there are characters that could be DPS characters with the right build. So if you look at characters like Lash, Warden, or Mirage, they're actually pretty interesting characters, and they might not look like it, but they're actually support characters that could really be a DPS character if you can build them correctly. I'm going to try to go over quickly some of them, just to give you guys a little bit of a head on why I think that. So Warden, the reason why I think he's a interesting and unique character as a DPS is, yes, his gun might not be doing the damage, but I feel like his other abilities really shine out. So his bread and butter is his ultimate ability. It's where he goes into a state where he goes anywhere around in front of you and he lifesteals you. You know, it's pretty simple. But you'll have clips like this where I could just walk up to them and just start mowing everybody down. Oh. Okay, that works too.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's GG. Lash is another interesting character where he is used more as a support character. Yes, he can do damage and he's very athletic and very unique in a way where he can move around the map very easily. But what I mean by that is his one-on-one potential is very cool because he is not always able to grab you, he's able to grab anybody. So if you want, he can swing around using you, a turret, a minion, or even a guardian. And it's really cool in that aspect because he's able to usually use his ult. So his ult, for if anybody doesn't know, is that he goes in the air, or if you're in the air, he scans anybody in a radius, and if it fully tracks you, he can pick you up and slam you down. So this is so good is that afterwards, he can use his one ability, which is his slam, and is able to go and lifesteal you, which is his 3 ability. It's really interesting in a unique way. Yes, he doesn't look like a DPS character, but that's what I'm saying in the sense of why a DPS character is so unique in this game. A character that doesn't look like it could be it. And Mirage. Now, Mirage definitely looks like more of this DPS character, but he actually feels more of a support role more than anything. And me saying someone that has mained this character and has really tried to get inside and really understand this character, he's actually really unique. Yes, his gun is super strong. I agree. Anybody who's played the game a little bit can understand that his gun is actually one of the best guns in the game. But it's not that makes him so good. It's his other abilities, such as his ultimate, which is a teleport, and he can teleport anybody in the map. So if you're a teammate or enemy, so if you're enemy team and you're located in the map, he can actually TP to you, which is a really interesting thing because it's not right away. It's a wind up. It takes a few seconds to actually go there. And his other ability, which is his impact, what I like to call it, is where if he hits you with a bullet, there is a little marker on you, and it adds up to 1x, 2x, 4x, and 8x, and 8x meaning the max. So how it works is he keeps hitting you, and then if he activates it, either manually or automatically after a few seconds, it does damage to you, and it reveals you around the map. It's a really cool support role, but it's also pretty good when it comes to an attacking role as well. Now, I can just name every character, and I can be like, oh, look at this character. He's a really good DPS, and he's unique in this way. This person's unique in that way. But this is not a way I can show you, it's how they show it. It's like Yamato doesn't really look like it, but she is considered one of the biggest DPS characters, and how she is able to just get in the front lines. You can talk about Haze and Wraith. They're standard DPS characters with their equipment and how they maneuver around the map. It's really interesting how they really approach the game, as the sense of, yes, if you want to, you can be a DPS character. You can go and do crazy damage, but you could pick any character. It's just how you build it. Now, the biggest reason on why I think the DPS role is really revolutionized in Deadlock is the fact that the items, it's the bread and butter. It's mainly why, or 80% of why your character is the way it is. And it really can bring out what you want. So everyone knows about the hydration build, where he's able to launch in the air, pop ult, and you just run into it or drop into an enemy. You know, it's really sick. But there's also a lot of abilities and a lot of items that really can really bring you to the top. So there's massive ones like Tesla bullets and toxic bullets. But toxic bullets is really interesting because it goes by bleed, and not only on top of that you're bleeding, you're also bleeding max health. And on top of that, you're also healing reduction on the enemy team. It's really interesting. And also, I feel like every DPS character uses this. It's Ricochet. Ricochet is, as the name says, it ricochets off enemies. And it's really, really interesting because I've used it on different agents, and it's really cool. Such as Mirage. It's really definitely the best because you can technically hit the entire team with one bullet, and then you can reveal all of them. It's really, really interesting. This is the first game where I genuinely really went into a sandbox and really went to a private lobby and was like, I'm gonna sit down for maybe 20-30 minutes, really test out this build. I really want to see how this build works in different sections of the game. You can do it in early game, you could do it in late game, you could do it any type of way. It's really interesting because there's a lot of commands and really a lot of ways to help you. You can summon bots, and the sandbox aspect of this is really cool because it really does help you decide what is the best way and how can I really explore and break the ceiling of a certain character I would like to go through. You know, if you're a Warden player but you don't like playing tank and you don't like playing support, I want to be in the front line, I want to be the one doing damage. You can practice that in the sandbox, and I really feel like that's where Valve has really done well early. And another thing I really want to talk about, I've seen this a lot, and I don't know why people are saying this, that Deadlock is dead or Deadlock is dying, when this game is in closed alpha. It's an invite only on alpha. Of course, you're not going to get the most amount of players. Of course, you're not going to get a lot of players. You're not going to average more than 100,000 viewers or players, or more than 50,000 players. I feel like a lot of people need to understand this is an alpha. They are still building the game. The game is not finished. They are just doing it with the community. I also saw recently where Yoshi came out, and if you guys don't know, Yoshi is one of the developers of Deadlock. He even says, yes, it's okay to be mad at us or be angry at us so you can help us build the game that you love. So if anybody has any doubts, I would definitely say please go and give Deadlock a try. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everything you guys listen to, and if you guys want more of these videos, and I'll be more than happy to do it. Alrighty, bye-bye.